Hello.
Hi, how are
Hello,
you?
good evening. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you so much. What about you?
I'm good too. And I think this is our first session. Have we had a session before?
No, ma'am. It's our first session. We are meeting first time at this platform.
hmm Well, it's so nice to meet you. And I'm Upasna, by the way. Is there anything specific you'd like to talk about today?
Yes, of course. My name is Shamsher Yadav. I'm from Chandauli, Uttar Pradesh, and I'm a school teacher. I have my own school in my hometown. And apart from this, I give training to my students to speak in English, how to become fluent in English, how to develop their communication English. And just because of that, I am doing practice over my language so that I can give better training to my students. That's all
Okay,
about me.
that's actually so wonderful. Wow, I'm glad you're working on this because it's such, there's a necessity for it right now, right? More than ever, I think we need to learn English. We need to learn how to communicate effectively. So yeah, I'm so glad you're doing that. What would you like to talk about today?
Actually, when I was booking this session, so at that time they required a topic, suggestion topic. So I have mentioned their women education. So I'd like to go with this topics. So what do you think about it?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Women education, women's
Women in
education.
education?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, why did you choose this topic? What about this topic captivated you?
Actually, that this topic has captivated me because of the situation, the condition of in India, the girls' education in India is really uh, earlier time it was now it is better than back, but earlier it was very worse. And even today we have a need to take care of women's education so that we can become developed and we create a healthy and civilized society.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's no I mean it's a no-brainer to me. I think people always talk about, oh, feminism, there's no need for feminism, there's no need for all these protests and rally because, we're developed. But
Mhm.
I work with a lot of NGOs and kids and girl kids, and um, it's very heartbreaking, the situation. They have a desire to learn, they have a desire to they have curiosity, right? Yet because of financial restraints, they always opt for the boy to be educated, right?
Mhm.
So it is a pressing matter, of course, especially when you like um I don't know, see Afghanistan, where now because of the Taliban, they're not allowed to go to school.
Mhm.
They're not allowed to even look around properly. They're not allowed to have windows, or have
Mhm.
music or play sports. And I think education and school is such an important part of who you become later on in life, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Totally.
Without those experiences, from everything from what you learn inside the classroom to being
Mhm.
outside the classroom on the playground with your peers, those are very vital experiences that everyone should have,
Mhm.
and it's very sad that they restrict girls from education, and they I think they wait for them to be married off. So yeah, what do you think? I don't know, what do you
Yeah,
think end it? What do
of
you think
course.
change people's mind?
But nowadays the scenario is little by little changing. In India, in the cities, there are little bit better than village areas, but we have a need to educate more and more girls and give them proper education so that they can understand their right, they can understand the real meaning of life, and they can cooperate us, and they can help us financially, they can support us financially. And and if the women's will if the girls will educated, so they will understand what is the wrong and what is right, how to behave, how to handle the situation, how to manage the family.
Yeah.
And they will try to understand the situation. in what way I have to react if someone is telling something. So when I have to speak and when I have to not speak. So this thing is very important, and this comes from the education. And if you educate them, so this kinds of thing, this kinds of thought will develop. They become creative, intellectuality, knowledge. There will they are developed, and after that they can create, okay, they can create the peaceful environment in the society. Sometimes because of lack of education, the women does not understand the uh, condition, they does not try to understand the situation, and they started reacting, they become violent, they started doing violence. So because of that, many thousands of family are breaking every year.
Yeah, I think it's not a matter of why they're getting angry. I think, I mean, it's not a matter of them getting angry and how to fix the anger. I think there's a reasonable explanation for why they're angry. I think that anger comes from not being listened to, not being understood. And I think with education, with exposure to other kinds of societies or other forms of, I don't know, communication and logic and practicality, of course, they'll feel, I guess, better, or will be able to communicate their anger better than violent fits. But I think that's a very archaic ideology of like women getting emotional. I think we all get emotional. Unfortunately, we make sure that men don't get emotional, which is really bad. Men should be able to get emotional. They should be able to cry when they need to. Hello? Cry when they need to, or talk about their feelings. And women, we stereotype as emotional, and then we don't put them in power. We give that excuse of like women are too emotional to be in power. I think there's a balance there. Feminism is for both of that. Gender equality is for both of that.
Mhm.
It's also like, if you're gonna, like, I don't know, while talking about learning, women should go to school and learn, and men should also learn to cook. I think we expect, if a woman is going to school, we expect her to also do all these things that she's, traditionally bound to do, get married, have children, cook, and stuff like that. Like, let her also focus on career. And maybe men
Mhm.
should get more comfortable doing the household work as well. It's about balance, right? It's about
Yes,
sharing all these stuff. And also, more importantly, I think education becomes very, very important when you're talking about health. A lot of women don't know what their bodies are going through monthly, and about
Mhm.
fertility, about sanitation. So when they're more informed about health, when they're more informed about biology and anatomy, they make better choices for their own body, and they are more responsible when it comes to family planning. They know what is in their control, and
Mhm.
that they should be in control when it comes to, children and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, how do you think you could convince people to send their daughters to school?
Yes, of course. And first of all, I'd like to one point I have got from your points. That is, if women is educated, if the girls are being educated, if we give the chance to girls also have education, so they will properly understand the physically and the biological condition of their body, and they will try to understand. Okay, they will be prepared with that, and
Hmm.
they can also give the knowledge to their daughters.
Yeah.
Okay, if we just educating a single girl, a single woman, but the knowledge will transfer generation to generation. If a girl
Yes.
is educated, after that she can give a proper guidance to her daughter. If the daughters can give her daughters, so in this way the knowledge, the information about one from one person to deliver person to person. But this thing a man cannot. A man have a foundation. Man have a some foundation after to explain this thing. But women can explain this thing to a daughter very easily. And most of the times girls are most of the time girls are connected to their mother. If the
Yeah.
mother is not well educated, if the mother does not know the condition of the body, how it happened, what happened, so how she can convince her daughter? If the girls know, if the mothers know every condition of the body and how to planning, how to be cure yourself, what kinds of thing we have to take care. Okay,
Yeah. I also,
uh, so
if
these kinds of things. Mhm.
yeah, if I may just, sorry, interrupt there. I also think it's important for men to learn about, periods or menopause and pregnancy. I think it's very important for them to learn because, I mean, the daughters that you're talking about, who the mothers will teach, are also their father's daughter, and you can't always. I mean, I don't know. I would want for daughters to be comfortable talking to their dads about these things, and I think there's a big stigma, and it's a dad's. I think it should be a dad's responsibility to destigmatize those conversations, to talk to their daughters about all these things as well, both the parents.
Agree. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. But ma'am, uh, in India, that kinds of mental, you can say, the situation is not. Even today, the people are little bit shy to discuss over these kinds of things. The like a period and some other condition of the body to have a other relation. To talking about the physically relation, people are just hiding to talk over this point. But it is not a very big deal. Okay, these kinds of things are mentioned already in our school syllabus. In at standard, there is everything is available. But most of the time, in at reality, people does not like to talk to over this matter. This people always
But
try to away from.
but it's very important that you destigmatize it, right? It starts somewhere, because of course our textbooks all have the, like what happens in your body. We have those chapters on reproduction and whatever. But
Nonsense.
yeah, but I think um it can only teach you so much. There's a quote that says you can't learn swimming by reading about water.
Yes, of course. You have to step into the water.
You
After that, you can learn how to swim.
Exactly. So these conversations with your parents, these conversations with your siblings are so, so important. Are so important.
Hmm.
It's not just about learning it in school, because even in school, it's more of a restricted environment where you feel so uncomfortable asking the teacher for help or asking your classmates for help, because there's that stigma. But it can't come back home as well. Maybe home is where it starts, that destigmatization, right? Um,
But ma'am, this kinds of freely or you can say flexible family only can be created by education. If both
yeah.
person are
Oh, yeah.
educated, after that we can create these kinds of
Exactly.
things. Otherwise, if people are not educated properly, so they will become bossy. You can say
Yeah.
dominating nature. So they think I'm a man and you all are just under control me, and you don't have a dare to ask any such question that I cannot explain, that I cannot have information. If any children ask any question to parents related to personal thing or like a reproductive system, so people, fathers become dominating, father become arrogant. But if you want to such kinds of environment in our society, so for that we have a need to educate family, women, girls, boys also.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right on that. I think that comes very handy, and it helps. Even having an older sister is so, I don't know, reassuring, like during that time, right? So having all of them educated, having all of them looking at it from a, mature point of view is very important. And yeah,
And
of course, educating them makes
and
sure that
one thing
there's contribution. Yeah.
and one thing more I would like to say, women's are 50% men and 50% women. Both are equal
Yeah.
in the ratio, and both make the society. So if you are just educating the 50%, So how we can create a civilized society? If you want to a good and civilized and developed nation, so we have to you have to educate. We have to educate both parties,
Yeah.
men as well as women, because both make a society.
And
Society is not made by
financially as
just.
well.
Mhm.
Financially as well, women can contribute more. Women can contribute more, and the that dual income household is so much better for if they have a child someday, right? Yeah. And usually
And
when
nowadays,
the sorry, but usually when the father passes away, there's a financial insecurity because the mom has never worked, right? So
so and nowadays women are working better than, if I talk about the responsibility, the women's are, girls are more educated, more responsible than men. Men can be little bit careless, but women's, if any work is designed for a women's girls, they do their work very responsibility, with
yeah,
the full responsibility, and try to give their 100%.
yeah. I think that also comes from the fact that for so long we weren't able to work. For so long, women were so underestimated that now we have this like overachieving, like I don't know, point of view because it's it's different. It's a privilege to be able to work. It's a privilege to be able to earn as much as a man. So I think there's this like feeling of I'm never going to be good enough. So I need to try my best to prove myself. But with men, because it's so, I don't know, because it's normal, because it's, so obvious that a man has to work, that it's taken for granted sometimes, that the fact that they're able to work and earn as much as they do.
But one thing, and I would like to share a very common thought that I have realized in my village. So people thought that, parents thought that if I give the education to the son, so he will earn money and he will give to me. If I
Yeah.
will spend a lot of money over the girl, so she will get married and she will go to her husband. So I'm not going to get something from
Hmm.
that girl, from my
Yeah.
daughter. So these kinds of thought is in already in our society. So what do you think? Is it
Yeah.
possible if a girl, after getting a lot of education and after getting job, when she went to her husband house, so she forget the parents house, and parent, even the parents.
I don't think that's the case. I think that's a very silly conception that some people have, right? I think that is exactly why people hate, self like I don't know, high achieving women. I think that's why people hate on women who choose themselves. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to take myself out for a date, or I'm going to spend this money on myself. This is why people hate on them. But when a man spends on himself, it's just how it works, right? And I don't think that either gender is like responsible. I mean, of course, we in Asian culture especially, we have this like, oh, take care of your parents as you get older and stuff like that, but you can't see a girl as property moving from one house to the next house, and a slave working for one house and then a slave married to another house. That's not how it works. They are their own human, and they can make their own choices about their own money. This is why prenups exist. You can't, um I know love should be unconditional or whatever in the romantic sense, but I don't think that's practical. I think it's important to think about um how even if you are going to get married, that isn't the end of your own identity, that isn't the death of your individuality, right? Yeah,
So
unfortunately this session has come to an end. I'm gonna have to end this session, but it was really nice talking to you. um
thank you, ma'am. I have also enjoyed this session very much, and nice to talk to you, ma'am. Thank you so
yes.
much.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye. I hope to speak to you again.